We have some breaking news in yet another investigation involving Donald Trump. This one about January 6th and the testimony of former Vice President Mike Pence. I want to go to Laura Jarrett. And Laura, I know we were in a situation where there was a question about would he appeal, whether or not he had to testify. What are you learning now?
That's right. Just a week ago, I was with you when we got the news that a judge had actually ordered the former vice president to testify in the special counsel's probe into the former president's efforts to cling to power, to block the certification results of the 2020 election, Chris. And we can now report that the former vice president has opted not to appeal that ruling, which is an interesting decision. Obviously, there were two sets of arguments at play. Former President Trump had argued that executive privilege should block Pence from testifying because normally those conversations are held in private. It allows for some frank deliberation between the former president and his senior aides. That argument did not work in front of the federal judge. Pence had made a different argument, a constitutional argument, something of a novel claim resting on the speech or debate clause because he presided over the Senate that day. He had argued he should be immune from testimony. The judge decided, however, given Trump's alleged illegality, Pence would nevertheless have to testify, and Pence has now decided to go ahead and testify and comply with that judge's order, Chris. Now, I should mention here, we do not know whether Trump will appeal this ruling. So it's not as if Pence is going to run into the courthouse today. I want to be very clear about that. Trump can still appeal this. He has the opportunity to do so. However, I should note he has lost almost every case in which he has tried to appeal these rulings on executive privilege grounds. Just yesterday, D.C. Court of Appeals had ruled that his most senior aides, not Pence, but other ones, will have to testify in this exact special counsel probe. So, again, the headline here is that Pence will not appeal.
Well, one of the things that I think we absolutely do know, and we've talked about this before, Laura, but I think it's worth reiterating, is that there are things that Donald Trump and Mike Pence talked about that only Donald Trump and Mike Pence know about. And that's obviously why Jack Smith wants to talk to him. He has very particular knowledge of key moments, key conversations, right?
That's exactly right. And many of those conversations, Chris, he actually details in a Wall Street Journal article, as well as his own memoir. He goes into some of those conversations, but obviously the special counsel wants to pull back the curtain on that a little bit more and obviously delve deeper. And obviously, you know, testifying in front of a grand jury under oath is different than talking about it in a book. I also want to mention here a statement from Pence's advisor, Devin O'Malley, who says in part here that the court vindicated the principle of the Constitution and actually upheld for the first time in history that the speech or debate clause extends to the vice president of the United States. So Pence team here obviously saying that, look, the judge did rule in his favor, in part recognizing that presiding over the Senate that day, that is protected. But of course, what the special counsel wants is all of the conversations that happened leading up to January 6th. And it's that part that he is not immune from testifying about.